It's about learning from the experiences of others. Rick is a leader of several prominent CEO peer groups, and it's all about what can you learn from other people. There's a lot of lessons to be learned. Sometimes it's better to learn them from others than the hard way yourself here. And so this show grew out of that. He's been doing it for years. I don't know the number, but this has got to be well into the 1,000, over 1,000 episodes he's done here. He usually gives the exact count at the beginning of it. And this show, we've got some repeat guests. We've got some people back again. I know they talked about this event before. They're here to talk about an upcoming event, the Civic 50, Orange County, being put on by, I believe, the Orange County Business Journal and the organization that Dan McQuaid is the executive director for OneOC. Welcome, Dan McQuaid, and your sidekick. I'm going to say this really fast because I'm going to butcher it. Amy Sfreddo.
Good job.
Close enough.
All right, so welcome. Amy, you're from where? You're from?
Orange County Business Journal. We're partnering with OneOC on this event and survey.
Okay, so tell us what the event is. Remind us for those that weren't here before, and then we'll delve into the questions here.
The Civic 50 Orange County is something that measures the civic engagement of companies, large, medium, and small, and it utilizes a online survey and then leads into an event that's hosted by the Orange County Business Journal, a luncheon awards event. But it is something that really is putting a spotlight on those companies that engage their employees in volunteering, their charitable giving, and how they use their voice, all to make a difference with nonprofits here in Orange County.
Okay, and this has been going on for a while, right? This is
the second year.
Second year, all right. So it's not a new thing. I remember you here last year talking about it. Let's start with sharing an interesting story. How did the Civic 50 get started here, and why?
OneOC is a 60-year-old organization that started out as a volunteer center here in Orange County, and we're an affiliate member of the Points of Light. And in 2012, they started the Civic 50 on a national basis that was for Fortune 500 companies. And because OneOC is affiliated with them, and because the role we play on helping to empower companies and nonprofits to do good and have a greater social impact, they asked me to be an evaluator. So I became involved with the Civic 50 on a national basis 6 years ago. But my desire was really to see this on a local basis, because we could have national companies that were doing well by doing good in the national community, but I wanted to bring it down to a region. And so in partnering with the Orange County Business Journal, we've been able to do the same thing here locally, utilizing an independent survey and then celebrating those companies that are doing good, not nationally, but exclusively here in Orange County, looking at what their employees do here in Orange County, what their companies do just in Orange County.
All right, so what's it take to get to be selected as an honoree here?
So you would need to be firms that are either privately or publicly held firms with operations, employees, and community engagement activities here in Orange County. And the firms are separated by category based on size, based on number of employees in Orange County. So small businesses are 15 to 99, medium businesses are 100 to 499, and large businesses are 500 plus. And then the survey is, as Dan mentioned, it's objective. It's a point-based survey that measures their local impact, investment, integration, institutionalization, and impact here in Orange County.
Okay. And let's talk about the second year. How's it any different?
Last year we had companies do quantitative and qualitative information, which Amy just talked about in 4 different areas, but we also had them put in case studies or examples and illustrations. And frankly, that took up a lot of time. Mm-hmm. So this year, in order to make it easier, we're not having them do that. The people that are identified as Civic 50 honorees, we can capture that information later before the luncheon. But we're really looking at trying to expand the number of people that are involved. The thing that I think is really important is there's 11 key data points that people need to be able to submit on this independent survey. And that is something that I think they can go to our website and be able to download the survey and look at what is going to be required of them.
All right, let's give them the website.
And the website is
as we're all fumbling through our
It's
notes here.
it's oneoc.org/OC Civic 50.
Okay.
And you can go there for FAQs, for the list of honorees from last year, as well as the survey. And important distinction, the survey certainly does take a few hours to do because it's detail oriented to have that point system. So good to start early. And you can start, save, and return later. So
That's right.
You don't have to sit down and do
Any
it all at once.
deadlines? Let's give us some dates and everything. When's the event? When's the deadline?
So the survey deadline is June 29th, and it's open, of course, now. Then over the summer, we calculate all the point activity, and then we announce the 50 winners at the Civic 50 Awards Luncheon on October 11th at Hotel Irvine. And then it's also highlighted in our Civic 50 special edition of the Orange County Business Journal, October 15th, both the list of 50 as well as some profiles.
Well, I want to be in that. I want to get in there. I got to go look this thing up and see if I can possibly make the Civic 50 here.
There you go.
Give us some, before we take a break, give me a couple ideas who got picked last year, honored. Give me any off the top of your head?
Well, not only were there 50 companies, or large, medium, and small, but we also called out the companies that had the highest scores within those ranges, those cohorts. And so Bank of America was the large company that was recognized in their division, and KPMG was the mid-sized companies. And even though O'Melveny and Myers you might consider to be large, in Orange County they have less than 100 employees.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So that they were recognized for their work. We gave a special call out and award for a legacy company that have been doing good and, by doing well for years, and the one that rose to the top was Disneyland, who has a really robust charitable giving program, and also they have those volunteers, EARS, who
Exactly.
they engage just a tremendous number of their cast members in volunteering, and they also place people on nonprofit boards, and they use their public voice for a number of different causes. So they were recognized. And then an emerging leader was Antis Roofing. It was someone who, by doing things innovatively and involving his entire workforce, but also his suppliers and his vendors, he was able to be recognized for the work that he has done, and a remarkable amount of work in a very short amount of time that's really helped him build his brand, his business, but do a tremendous amount of good in Orange County.
And for anybody who hasn't heard of Antis Roofing, go back in the archives. Critical Mass Radio Show interviewed them, I think, sometime in the last year. I don't remember the exact date, but it was a fascinating show. I thought roofers are roofers. No, there's definitely some differences here.
Not with Charles.
Yeah. Doesn't he? I think he works with, if I remember correctly, doesn't he do a lot of associations or?
And that's his specific niche. So he's not doing individual homes.
Right.
He's working with the homeowners associations. But that provides an opportunity for him when he does his work, his charitable work with Ronald McDonald House or
That's right.
with
Habitat.
He gets everybody involved in being able to do that. So every Habitat home that's built here in Orange County has an Antis roof on top.
I'm going to have to work a lot harder to make this list. I can see that right now. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap it up and tell you more about the upcoming Civic 50 Orange County. The second year they've done this with Dan McQuaid from OneOC and Amy Sfreddo. Oh, I was so close to doing it right here. Sfreddo from Orange County Business Journal. Right after this. Back up with Dan McQuaid from OneOC, Amy Sfreddo. Hey, I'm getting better. Amy Sfreddo from Orange County Business Journal about the upcoming Civic 50 Orange County, the second annual event. Tell us the date again for the event. I think the luncheon is
October 11th.
And the issue comes out
October 15th.
All right, good. Well, we'll look forward to that down the road. Now, the big question. All right, everybody wants to be honored. Everybody wants to highlight what they're doing to do good. You know, partly because it makes them feel better and it helps promote their brand and all these good things. Why should somebody really participate in this? Is it just ego? Is it just recognition, or is it more?
Actually, there's a real result component to it. Retention, recruitment, and business growth are all key components to some of the successes that they enjoy. We've had several businesses that have participated that have seen a much higher retention rate with their employees and seen their business grow because of them being good guys in the community. I mean, let's face it, businesses and employees both want to work for good people.
Yeah. For
So-
especially millennials, we talk about all the time. They don't want just a job anymore. They want to make a difference.
So
and,
true.
and they want to have their values aligned with their companies.
Yes.
So this is an expression of companies that care about their employees, but they also care about the communities in which they have businesses and they have employees.
And it's truly a competitive differentiator. It really rises you
Yeah.
to the top among your
Yeah, if
competition.
we do a recruiting show here, we do Higher Power, and they're always talking about all the time, culture counts. You know, it isn't
Right.
just about how you hold on to good people; it's how you attract good people and bring them to you. If your values line up with their values, you got a better chance of them joining you, as opposed to just, hey, we got a ping pong table and a little higher pay raise.
Yeah. So there's one other thing about it besides the attracting and retaining good employees. It's also a blueprint. The Civic 50, through the survey, lays out a roadmap on what a civically engaged company can do. And that, I think, is valuable. We had a number of companies last year who said, I'm not going to apply, but I'm going to go through the survey just so I can learn what and how I may do things.
And start tracking it.
And then the value is that year over year they can look at, are they making improvements in terms of their score, not only compared to other companies, but also practices that they've been able to introduce that they didn't the prior year.
And I would have never thought of it. So you're saying if companies participate, they get a copy of this survey?
They can get a copy of the results. They can pay for additional, more detailed results. It's truly a report card for them. And a really important distinction, participating is anonymous, truly. Unless you end up on the 50 list, no one knows that you submitted your application. So there's no downside in participating and only upside in the exposure you may get, as well as the insight you may get in being even better the following
So it's
year.
really for everybody. Why wouldn't every company want to participate, even if they didn't? Because I'm thinking, gee, I can't compete with Antis. I don't go build homes and all these other things here.
But one of our intents of having the Civic 50 was actually to inspire and equip and get more companies engaged. So I think the companies that were in there last year, I think we're going to have more companies this year, and therefore I think there may be a little bit of competition that's going on
Yeah, sounds
that
like
I think
it.
will be a benefit to the community, and companies that applied last year can do so again this year.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't give you a chance to tout OneOC. I know you've been in here before, but for those who don't know, tell us what you do.
We work with the 5,764 nonprofits in Orange County.
Is that all?
That keeps you busy.
Just a few who are doing an incredible amount of social good. And one of the things that we know that we need to be able to do is help connect them with companies. Companies also can be change makers in our community. They have employees, they have dollars, but they also have a voice. And that's what the Civic 50 measures. So by going through this process, what we're hoping to do is we don't need more nonprofits, but we certainly need more resources for those nonprofits. And by being able to connect those companies with those nonprofits, I think our company is going to be a lot more vibrant, healthier, and stronger community for all of us that call Orange County home.
And how do 4,000, well, you just gave,
5,764, a
how
few.
do they all get their message out? How do they all have wonderful agendas and passion behind them, I'm sure, but they can't all break through the noise and find support and help and money.
No, but what they can do, because you don't have enough airtime, I think what they can do is form partnerships. Rather than looking at drive-by philanthropy or an ATM when they partner up with a company, they can look at a long-term relationship where the company's needs and the nonprofits can both be met to do good. And that's what we really strive to do through our training, our consulting, our volunteer activities that we mobilize for companies and nonprofits. We can help them be able to establish a mutually beneficial relationship that benefits the community.
Well, I applaud you for what you do and for the Orange County Business Journal in joining the White.
Yes.
You got to. We'll give you 30 seconds. Why'd you join with this thing? Why'd you partner? I mean, this isn't something that you have to do.
Well, Dan and I kind of produced this idea locally, and very much I wanted to do more to help the nonprofits with their visibility in the community and to engage more businesses. Right now, there's more individuals supporting nonprofits than there are businesses, and that needs to change. There's a lot of businesses that can do a lot to help this community.
And there's a lot of need out there, as heard,
right.
5,000 some plus charities out there. All right, give us again the website and the dates, and we'll call it a day here.
Okay, so the survey is live now and closes June 29th. The website is OneOC, so ONEOC.org /OC Civic 50. The event is October 11th, Hotel Irvine Awards Luncheon, and the publication is October 15th.
All right. Well, I hope you'll keep us on your media list and tell us who wins and all that, and we'll love to have you come back and talk about it after the event and highlight who won and why. You know, what does a winner look like?
I think that's key.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much. All right. You've been listening to another episode of Critical Mass Radio Show right here in Orange County's only community radio station, octalkradio.net.
You have been listening to Critical